steadily redefining what an electric motorcycle can be for the aspirational global India. Ladies and gentlemen, today on Republic we have a big reveal. It's the launch of one of India's most exciting bikes you will see. Our editor-in-chief, Republic editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami met the man behind that vision, Narayanan Subramaniam, CEO, co-founder Ultraviolette, on the eve of the company's most ambitious unveiling yet. This is the X47, which is, by the way, being unveiled on Republic. The X47 was conceived, designed, engineered entirely in India. Now preparing for an international rollout, the X47 aims to challenge the world's most celebrated performance motorcycles. Here's a bike that might just shake up the global electric bike market.
Shall we come? Let's press this together, guys.
Sure.
And let's record this moment in history so that when the world talks about how this big bike first was unveiled here at Republic, from Republic with our love to the world. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go! What a beauty. What an absolute beauty.
That's the X47.
We're sitting here with the fantastic Narayan and Neeraj, co-founders of this beautiful company called Ultraviolette. And they've put together this beauty, which is their latest machine, and it is called the X47. When you look at this, the first thing, you feel so proud that this is made in India. And you wouldn't believe this was possible in our country till recently.
We built out the foundational aspects of the electric vehicles and safety systems. We're super excited because these are the same motorcycles that are being made, manufactured in India, designing from scratch, the electronic subsystems, the safety systems, everything is being done from scratch.
In the auto space, three factors are very important: design, performance, and the cost of the automobile.
Okay.
In the electric vehicle space, we are the only company that has a control over all three aspects. Our side, the first product will come with an onboard charger. All you need is a cable, any 15 amp socket.
And over and above that, with using car chargers, we're able to charge the vehicle as well. What we've done is, on the motorcycle at the rear, we have a long-range radar installed. This is the 6th generation radar technology, which helps the vehicle see up to 200 meters away.
Pretty much every parameter of the electric powertrain, power density, energy density on both the chargers and the batteries, air-cooled systems, so we don't have to deal with the extra weight and cost of liquid-cooled systems. That was a very important innovation.
Explain what a street to roadster concept is like.
I think the USP of the X47 is the ability to cross over multiple terrain. So from our regular road usage to highway riding to the soft roading and off-roading that you might encounter once in a while on the weekend rides, we've designed it to be capable of all of that.
We had the Commerce Minister recently at a startup conference say that startups should not just be about food delivery products, and I think in that cynicism he was making a very strong point, wasn't he? I mean, he was saying that you need to go deeper into product and manufacturing and technology that can take India into a level of manufacturing Atmanirbharta. So I think that is important,
So a lot of those times we've seen a lot of skepticism that how will you compete with the big companies both in India and across the world.
Yep.
And while we had that conviction, and while now the 600 people on the team have a lot of conviction, I definitely hope this sparks that intent to back companies, like not just financially, back in every way of support possible from the ecosystem. And if we have 100 more of such entities, then India is going to be at a different scale altogether.
साथियों, हम नागरिक देवो भवः, नागरिक देवो भवः के जिस मंत्र के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन जीएसटी रिफॉर्म में इसकी साफ झलक दिखाई देती है। अगर हम इनकम टैक्स में छूट और जीएसटी में छूट को जोड़ दें तो एक साल में जो निर्णय हुए हैं उससे देश के लोगों को 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की बचत होगी। और तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूं ये बचत उत्सव है। साथियों, विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य तक पहुंचने के लिए हमें आत्म
Welcome to the latest edition of Trending Tonight with me, Rakshita. We start with the top trending story of the day. How French President Emmanuel Macron was in for an authentic New York experience as he was left stranded on the streets after Trump's motorcade blocked his way and he had to make a call to the US president. And in More from America, where Donald Trump has drawn a link between Tylenol and autism. He's being brutally trolled over it, viewers. Also, the city of joy, Kolkata, is witnessing an unprecedented deluge right ahead of Puja. While in Milan of Italy, pro-Palestine protests are stoking riots. Actor couple Katrina Kaif and Vicky Kaushal have shared good news after a long time of speculations. Viewers will also bring you news from across the country. How Assam bid farewell to one of its most iconic singer, Zubeen Garg. In an incident that's grabbing the eyeballs, the New York police halted French President Emmanuel Macron, his motorcade, to make way for Donald Trump's passage. Now, the viral video shows Macron's convoy stranded on the streets of New York as police enforced the roadblock, creating an unusual moment at the heart of the city during the UN General Assembly. In this video, it has gone viral. Macron briefly stepped out of his car after police ordered the vehicle to stop. An NYPD officer approached him, explaining the blockade. The French leader took the moment lightly and he then pulled out his phone. We'll just show you that video. He pulls out his phone, calls Trump and quips, "How are you? Guess what? I'm waiting in the street right now because everything is blocked for you. Clear the way." Watch it. And viewers, Trump's reply, however, to this call has not been disclosed, but the traffic was gridlocked for several minutes as pedestrians crowded the sidewalks to watch both presidents' entourages. Eventually, Macron's team decided to walk part of the stretch with the French president, stopping for photos with people on the street. And viewers, now we switch our focus to the deluge in Kolkata, which has quite literally brought Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal down to its knees, and heavy monsoons this season. The chronic water logging issues have crippled normalcy in this area, in the city of Kolkata. It's a issue coming in the thick of the festive season. Let's dive in and show you what's really happening, viewers. You have the visuals from different corners of Kolkata. We will just show you a boy floating in the waterlogged streets of Kolkata using a mattress. And the situation went so much out of hand that even cycles were submerged, half submerged, buses, ambulances, everything. The everyday life seems to just be wading through somehow. Though these adversaries are an everyday occurrence, viewers, perhaps it is just so since Kolkata's waterlogging issue has become a perennial one now. But ahead of the festivities, we've seen how pandals have also been inundated. You can see students coping with the monsoon misery. Next video we're going to show you is from outside the Jadavpur University. And you'll see the submerged road, one of the entrances of the prestigious Jadavpur University. Outside the campus, roads have turned into rivers and the students are struggling to find their path. The varsity goers, students, commuters, all have been hit the hardest. this rainy season, and these visuals are a testament to that. And Jadavpur University, you can see on your screens. We'll also show you what's happening in Salt Lake City. And this is the visual, and the state of affairs is not really any different. Roads completely vanished underwater. Cars were seen just somehow moving through waterlogged streets. Road connectivity completely washed out. And Kolkata's civic mess is just out in the open. It's for the world to see. And now, viewers, we go back to America. Trump, being Trump, has once again grabbed headlines with yet another bizarre, unfounded claim. This time, at a White House briefing, he warned pregnant women against using Tylenol, saying it could cause autism. You heard that right? With zero medical evidences, Trump linked one of the most commonly used pain relievers to autism, isn't it?
What parts of the world are going through. And I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol. I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism, okay? Tell me about that one. And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have autism. That tells you a lot.
Meanwhile, a White House spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, called on critics and the public to tone down the judgment, saying that the president's comments were part of a wider push on health reforms. Listen in.
I think women for many years, in fact for decades, Ed, have been confused by the rapid increase in autism in this country, in the childhood epidemic, that is chronic epidemic, disease epidemic that is plaguing America's youth. Women are confused about that, and they want answers to that. And that's exactly what this administration is focused on finding. And before you jump to conclusions based on reports that the White House has not even confirmed, I would encourage everyone in this room to go into the 4 o'clock announcement with some critical thinking skills and with some open ears to actually listen to what the president and his team of outsiders have to say about this. And there will be a number of things that will be announced and discussed. And I think, I know as a mother myself, I speak, I believe, for many mothers across the country who really want answers to what is happening to our nation's children. So again, I won't get ahead of the president, but I think everyone in this room needs to tone down the judgment before you even.
Right, viewers, we're going across to Donald Trump's address at the UN General Assembly. All right, viewers, world leaders have gathered in New York City for the UNGA, and we're just going across to Donald Trump's address, live on Republic TV.
Hello, Madam First Lady. Thank you very much for being here. And Madam President, Mr. Secretary General, First Lady of the United States, distinguished delegates, ambassadors, and world leaders. 6 years have passed since I last stood in this grand hall and addressed a world that was prosperous and at peace in my first term. Since that day, the guns of war have shattered the peace I forged on 2 continents. An era of calm and stability gave way to one of the great crises of our time. And here in the United States, 4 years of weakness, lawlessness, and radicalism under the last administration delivered our nation into a repeated set of disasters. 1 year ago, our country was in deep trouble, but today, just 8 months into my administration, we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, and there is no other country even close. America is blessed with the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation on the face of the earth. This is indeed the golden age of America. We are rapidly reversing the economic calamity we inherited from the previous administration, including ruinous price increases and record-setting inflation we've never had before. Under my leadership, energy costs are down, gasoline prices are down, grocery prices are down, mortgage rates are down, and inflation has been defeated. The only thing that's up is the stock market, which just hit a record high. In fact, it hit a record high 48 times in the last short period of time. Growth is surging, manufacturing is booming. The stock market, as I said, is doing better than it's ever that. Almost everybody. And importantly, workers' wages are rising at the fastest pace in more than 60 years. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? In 4 years of President Biden, we had less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. In just 8 months since I took office, we have secured commitments and money already paid for $17 trillion. Think of it, 4 years, less than $1 trillion, 8 months, much more than $17 trillion is being invested in the United States, and it's now pouring in from all parts of the world. We've implemented the largest tax cuts in American history and the largest regulation cuts in American history, making this once and again the best country on earth to do business. And many of the people in this room are investing in America, and it's turned out to be an awfully good investment during this 8-month period. In my first term, I built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the best economy ever, history of the world. And I'm doing the same thing again, but this time it's actually much bigger and even better. The numbers far surpass my record-setting first term. On our southern border, we have successfully repelled a colossal invasion. And for the last 4 months, and that's 4 months in a row, the number of illegal aliens admitted and entering our country has been 0. Hard to believe, because if you look back just a year ago, it was millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, from prisons, from mental institutions, drug dealers. All over the world they came. They just poured into our country with the ridiculous open border policy of the Biden administration. Our message is very simple. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail, or you're going back to where you came from, or perhaps even further than that. You know what that means. I want to thank the country of El Salvador for the successful and professional job they've done in receiving and jailing so many criminals that entered our country. And it was under the previous administration that the number became record-setting, and they're all being taken out. Have no choice. And other countries have no choice, because other countries are in the exact same situation with immigration. It's destroying your country, and you have to do something about it. On the world stage, America is respected again like it has never been respected before. You think about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or 1 year ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. At the NATO summit in June, virtually all NATO members formally committed to increase defense spending, at my request, from 2% to 5% of GDP, making our alliance far stronger and more powerful than it was ever before. In May, I traveled to the Middle East to visit my friends and rebuild our partnerships in the Gulf and those valued relationships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, and other countries are now, I believe, closer than ever before. My administration has negotiated one historic trade deal after another, including with the United Kingdom, the European Union, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and many, many others. Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And In all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars. But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with the mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars. What I care about is not winning prizes, it's saving lives. We saved millions and millions of lives with the 7 wars. And we have others that we're working on, and you know that. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
विराज रायचन, रायचन स्टील।
स्टील? आपने वरदान स्टील का नाम सुना होगा?
Of course. आप मिस्टर वरदान के बेटे हैं?
नहीं।
छोटे भाई?
नहीं नहीं।
दामाद?
नहीं।
फिर?
शेयर होल्डर।
शेयर होल्डर?
सही टाइम पे उनके शेयर्स खरीदे, तभी आज मैं यहाँ हूँ।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं, ग्रो करते हैं। डाउनलोड ग्रो फॉर स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड IPO।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
कल यानी नवरात्रि के प्रथम दिवस 22 सितंबर को सूर्योदय के साथ ही नेक्स्ट जनरेशन GST रिफॉर्म्स लागू हो जाएंगे। एक तरह से कल से देश में GST बचत उत्सव शुरू होने जा रहा है। इस GST बचत उत्सव में आपकी बचत बढ़ेगी और आप अपनी पसंद की चीजों को और ज्यादा आसानी से खरीद पाएंगे। नए स्वरूप में मुख्य रूप से अब सिर्फ 5% और 18% के ही टैक्स स्लैब रहेंगे। इसका मतलब है रोजमर्रा के इस्तेमाल की ज्यादातर चीजें और सस्ती हो जाएगी। खाने पीने का सामान, दवाइयां, साबुन, ब्रश, पेस्ट, स्वास्थ्य और जीवन बीमा, ऐसे अनेकों सामान, अनेकों सेवाएं या तो टैक्स फ्री होगी या फिर केवल 5% टैक्स देना होगा। GST कम होने से अब देश के नागरिकों के लिए अपने सपने पूरे करना और आसान होगा। घर बनाना, टीवी, फ्रिज खरीदने की बात हो, स्कूटर, बाइक, कार खरीदना हो, ये सब पर अब कम खर्च करना होगा। आपके लिए घूमना फिरना भी सस्ता हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ज्यादातर होटल्स के कमरों पर भी GST कम कर दिया गया है। हम नागरिक देवो भवः, नागरिक देवो भवः के जिस मंत्र के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन GST रिफॉर्म में इसकी साफ झलक दिखाई देती है। अगर हम इनकम टैक्स में छूट और GST में छूट को जोड़ दें,
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
विराज रायचन स्टील।
आपने वरदान स्टील का नाम सुना होगा।
ऑफ कोर्स। आप मिस्टर वरदान के बेटे हैं?
नहीं।
छोटे भाई?
नहीं।
दामाद?
नहीं।
फिर?
शेयर होल्डर। सही टाइम पे उनके शेयर्स खरीदे, तभी आज मैं यहाँ हूँ।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं ग्रो करते हैं। डाउनलोड ग्रो फॉर स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड IPO।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Last night, someone dropped the kapoors. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped them. with an automatic spotlight and a blaring alarm.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड भी, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
साथियों, विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य तक पहुंचने के लिए हमें आत्मनिर्भरता के रास्ते पर चलना ही होगा और भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने का बहुत बड़ा दायित्व हमारे MSMEs यानी हमारे लघु, मध्यम और कुटीर उद्योगों पर भी है, जो देश के लोगों की जरूरत कम है, जो हम देश में ही बना सकते हैं, वो हमें देश में ही बनाना चाहिए। साथियों, GST की दरें कम होने से नियम और प्रक्रियाएं और आसान बनने से हमारे MSMEs, हमारे लघु उद्योगों को, कुटीर उद्योगों को बहुत फायदा होगा। उनकी बिक्री बढ़ेगी और टैक्स भी कम देना पड़ेगा।
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
विराज रायचन, रायचन स्टील।
स्टील? आपने वरदान स्टील का नाम सुना होगा।
ऑफ कोर्स। आप मिस्टर वरदान के बेटे?
नहीं।
छोटे भाई?
नहीं नहीं।
दामाद?
नहीं।
फिर?
शेयर होल्डर।
शेयर होल्डर?
सही टाइम पे उनके शेयर्स खरीदे, तभी आज मैं यहाँ हूँ।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं, ग्रो करते हैं। डाउनलोड ग्रो फॉर स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड IPO।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
It's an all-out political face-off between the Yogi government and the opposition over ban on caste labels across Uttar Pradesh. At 8:30 p.m. this evening, the system allowed former IAS trainee to make a complete mockery of justice and why we believe it is the right time to hold them uncompromisingly accountable. At 9 p.m. it's Congress Congress over Rahul Gandhi's Nepo kids jive. This time it's not just the BJP, but their own colleagues calling out Rahul's dynastic entitlement. And at 9:30 p.m. this evening, states lock horns with centre over the impact of GST 2.0. Why is the opposition not welcoming a reform that boosts economic growth? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Sucharita Kukreti. You're watching The Debate. In a bold step towards caste-free governance, the Uttar Pradesh government has banned caste references in FIRs, arrest memos, public spaces, rallies, vehicles and signboards. It's following the Allahabad High Court's directive. All identification will now rely on parents' names. Instead of caste, Chief Secretary Deepak Kumar has directed immediate removal of caste symbols and slogans from police stations and official vehicles. Now, caste-based rallies are now prohibited, with authorities monitoring social media for compliance. Now, this landmark move, spearheaded by CM Yogi Adityanath himself, reinforces social equality and aims to reduce caste-based discrimination in administration and public life. Now, critics may question its reach, but this decisive action marks a clear commitment to fairness and inclusivity. It's a step forward in reshaping societal attitudes and curbing entrenched prejudices. Here's a report.
Uttar Pradesh government has prohibited caste-based political rallies. Following a court order, immediate removal of caste symbols, slogans, references from police station notice boards, vehicles, signboards, the cops have been asked to even monitor social media.
जो लोग विकसित भारत नहीं चाहते, जो लोग समर्थ भारत नहीं चाहते, जो लोग सशक्त भारत नहीं चाहते, वे लोग भारत को जाति के नाम पर, क्षेत्र के नाम पर, भाषा के नाम पर, तमाम वादों के आधार पर बांट करके, सामाजिक ताने बाने को छिन्न भिन्न करके दुश्मन को प्रेरित और प्रोत्साहित करते हैं, दुश्मनों को प्रेरित और प्रोत्साहित करते हैं। उनकी सहानुभूति किसी गरीब के लिए नहीं है, उनकी सहानुभूति देश के लिए नहीं है, उनकी सहानुभूति उन लोगों के प्रति होती है जो घुसपैठिए के रूप में भारत के नागरिकों के हक पर डकैती डालने का काम कर रहे हैं।
The decision comes after a September 16th directive from the Allahabad High Court, which asked the state government to curb caste glorification.
The Allahabad High Court has come down strongly against caste glorification. It has directed that caste should not be mentioned on official police records, arrest memos, except when the laws require it. It has also directed that caste glorification on vehicles, signboards should also be regulated because that approach is regressive and is against constitutional values. It has also asked the government to regulate the content online because oftentimes caste glorification can be seen as part of it. Following which, the Uttar Pradesh government has released an order where a detailed instruction on complete ban of caste-related language on signage, rallies and on police record has been banned.
Even before the directive, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had warned of conspiracies trying to divide society in the name of caste.
अगर हमें विकसित भारत के सपने को साकार करना है तो उन षड्यंत्रों से हमें हमेशा सावधान होना होगा जो षड्यंत्र हमें बांटने का काम कर रहे हैं, जाति के नाम पर, क्षेत्र के नाम पर, भाषा के नाम पर। याद रखना, बल, बुद्धि और विद्या में भारत कभी इतिहास के किसी भी कालखंड में कभी कमजोर नहीं रहा।
As expected, Samajwadi Party has hit out at Yogi government over the order, even though the state may have had very little to do with a court order.
अभी तक पोस्टिंगें हुई हैं और जो भेदभाव हुआ है खाने में वो जाति के आधार पे हुआ है और जाति के आधार पे होता है। तो हमें उम्मीद है कि खुशहाली आएगी और जब बीजेपी हटेगी।
जो खुद जातिवादी हैं खुद तो करें जातिवाद और दूसरों को कहें कि नहीं जाति आधार पर सामाजिक गैदरिंग भी न करें। ये इतना बड़ा अंतर विरोध है कि जिसका कोई सानी नहीं है।
Yogi government has acted upon a judicial order with the intention to eliminate caste differences in society.
नहीं, जो माननीय न्यायालय ने आदेश दिया है उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने उसके अनुपालन का आदेश दिया।
But is the opposition fearing an end to caste-based politics, which seems to be their lifeline?
I'm joined by Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson of the BJP, author and political analyst Shantanu Gupta joins us on the debate. Ratnakar Tripathi, senior leader of the Congress party, joins us, and so does Dr. Puja Mishra, national spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party. Welcome all of you. If I can begin by saying that it's a deep-rooted social prejudice, and if an effort is being made to curb this prejudice, I think it should be lauded. But why is it not being lauded is precisely why we are debating this. Now, if I can begin with Siddharth, if I can begin with you, caste politics, it's the reality of India today. And if I can say, every party, every political party is rooted in it. So would you be able to ensure today, and would you be able to tell our viewers today, that the BJP, especially because the Yogi government in UP is initiating this, that the BJP will not be holding any BJP, any Brahman Sammelan, any Kshatriya Sammelan, any kind of OBC Sammelan, to be taking the lead?
So, Charita, there is no doubt that caste is very deep-rooted in our society, but it doesn't, prohibit anybody from taking efforts or doing efforts in eradicating that deep-rooted problem. If political parties don't take the lead, then how will this happen in our society? True. Definitely, political parties are also a reflection of how the society works. But it is, and I proudly say this, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party and the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji who came out and said the Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas Nara. We were the first ones to take a step in this lead to say that we want a politics in our country which is inclusive, which includes everybody, which is beyond caste, which calls for a nation-first theory, which calls for everybody to think on the lines of how we can serve the nation. If those initiatives have been taken, and in furthering those initiatives, if a court order is being complied with, I don't find a reason why this should be debated. It was a court order. The government has come up with fantastic directives. These are the directives which are the need of the hour to solve the problem in the society. There is definitely, I don't think there would be anybody in the society who would come out and say that we should divide our society on the basis of caste. We should divide our society on the basis of, on the lines of casteism. Nobody should come out, but we are very sure that this is how politics
I absolutely
works.
agree with you, Siddharth Yadav. I absolutely agree with you. But why I'm asking you this, why my precise question to you was regarding the political rallies, because the court order is being worked upon by the government, but the court order did not really speak about political rallies, Siddharth. Now, the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh has gone ahead and added that. They're saying that there will be no caste-based political rallies, which means there will be no Brahman Sammelan. Am I getting that right? There will be no Kshatriya Sammelan. There will be no OBC Sammelan by political parties. What I want an assurance from you is that the BJP will not hold this. Before I go on to ask Puja Mishra the same question.
So, Charita ji, it is our government which has brought this directive.
Yes.
It is our government which is going to implement it. There is no doubt that if the directive is going to be there, everybody has to follow it, including the Bharatiya Janata Party, including the likes of all our leaders. So there is no doubt about it. It's an initiative, it's a political initiative, a societal initiative that is being taken. It's a welcome-worthy step. The government had the courage to take such a decision. It's a decision to do away with the fault lines of our society, and everybody should come together. The Bharatiya Janata Party will take
Absolutely.
a lead.
Everybody needs to come together. So, Dr. Puja Mishra, would you join hands with the BJP and welcome this step, because you're the ones who've always been accusing this government of discriminating on the basis of caste. So now they're taking a step which is to bridge this gap. Will you be supporting them? Will you be joining hands with Siddharth Yadav?
Firstly, good evening to you, Sucharita, and good evening to fellow panelists too. Now the BJP spokesperson said one thing, that BJP brought this directive from High Court. Either they can influence the judgment or where the BJP a party. As far as I know, BJP wasn't a party. And if he is saying that BJP brought this directive from High Court, it means he is agreeing that they can influence the judgment. Okay, that's another part. Now come to the casteism. Now you said that we have been alleging the BJP. We are not. The data says it. 23% increase in the caste-based crime in Uttar Pradesh since the BJP government come into effect. And do you know what is irony? The irony of Uttar Pradesh is that the Uttar Pradesh has a chief minister who is Mahan, and whole nation, whole world knows his caste. The irony is that the thief is given to protect the treasure. The irony is that when the former chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav ji, left the CM house, the Suddhikaran was done by the same chief minister. When the former chief minister visited a temple, the Suddhikaran was done by the BJP workers, and BJP kept mum. Even the press denied that don't do it, but the BJP workers did. And the facts speak always louder than the words. And now they are saying that we'll obligate or we'll eliminate. This is not the result of, just a judgment or something. This is just 0.1% correction. This will bring just 0.1% correction. The direction already existed in 2013 when Mayawati did the Brahmin rally. You know that. And for the glorification of caste, for the discrimination of caste, these all laws, those all articles exist in our constitution that you can't practice it. And
Puja, are you trying to say, Dr. Mishra, are you trying to say that the glorification of caste or caste-based rallies are only being done by the BSP or BJP and it's not being done by the Samajwadi Party? Is that what you're trying to drive home? I can show you so many visuals of Akhilesh Yadav ji sitting there.
So
in a Yadav Sammelan.
Just 1 month back, the BJP MLAs were indulged into having Lodi meeting. The Lodi MLA was doing Lodi meeting. The Thakur MLA was doing Thakur meeting. Do you know that in Uttar Pradesh, if a Dalit has to get married, the forces from 3 police stations are deployed there. Then that Dalit gets married. And if you are Dalit, a Dalit woman, Pradhan, was denied from sitting from the Panchayat chair that just because she belongs to Dalit. If you belong to the Dalit community, a whole village was burnt because you belong to the Dalit community.
That is precisely the prejudice that we all have to fight against, Puja. That is precisely. Ma'am, isn't that the prejudice that we all need to fight against? So that is why I'm asking you to unite. That is why I'm asking you to join hands. That is the prejudice we all need to fight. I don't think Siddharth Yadav sitting here will support that.
You asking me to unite with Bajpa when they do Suddhikaran just because the former chief minister belonged to Yadav community.
Do that. Okay. Before I go to Mr. Ratnakar Tripathi or Shantanu Gupta, Siddharth, do you want to respond to this? Because they've always been driving home this point that there was a Suddhikaran done once Akhilesh Yadav went there and then it was done by the BJP.
Propagandas. These are all false stories. This is the la-la land that the opposition lives in. I'll tell you the reality, Sucharita.
If you have nothing to say, then you say a false story.
I know why they are so rattled. The political parties. Ma'am, I was not speaking while you were speaking. Have the courtesy to hear me out. Ma'am, I was not speaking while you were speaking. Please, Puja ji, sun lijiye. I know why these political parties are so rattled. Jinki dukaan is the politics of those parties is only based on the MY Samikaran, the PDA Samikaran. Those who can't come beyond that, the ones who only stood with either a caste-based political system or a Mukhtar Ansari political system or a mafia political system who never cared about the Dalits, who never cared about the real picture. I know why they are rattled today. Who's asking you to stop your fight against discrimination? Discrimination is there. You have to continue your fight. But would you want to do politics over it? Yes, you want to do politics.
I think it's a very welcome step.
And that's the problem.
Now, I want you as people representing your parties to stand up and say that yes, we will not hold these caste-based rallies because this is a step towards dividing the society, and when we are here to unite, why are we holding these rallies? Now, if I were to go to Mr. Tripathi, if I can come across, What is being said in the order? The order has directed the immediate removal of caste symbols, slogans, references from all police station notice boards, vehicles, signboards. Now, should you not be welcoming this?
You have the order with you, na? Sucharta ji?
Sorry?
You have the order with you, na?
What does it say?
You just tell me.
Yes,
in which section of the directions the court has said that you impose a ban on the rallies or congregation of the backwards and OBCs?
No, that's exactly what I said. That is not part of the order. But the BJP has gone ahead and done that. Are you welcoming it?
Let me speak first.
Yes, are you welcoming it?
Do you have time for me?
I have
So
invited you so that you can speak, Mr. Tripathi.
I know what has hit Yogi Adityanath. A person, Praveen Chetri, was caught in a Scorpio, who was a bootlegger, a liquor smuggler.
Okay.
And in the FIR columns, it was written, caste Pahadi Rajput, subcaste Thakur. After that, this has come. This is same Yogi Adityanath who has said, "Mujhe Kshatriya kul mein paida hone ka garv hai." Wasn't it caste? In your 7 p.m. Hindi show, the BJP spokesman said, कि OBC प्रधानमंत्री से लोग चिढ़ते हैं. And now let me tell you one thing, Mughal. You read the whole of the, decision and tell me where it has been written. In fact, the 51 of direction, the 51 column of and F of that section says कि the columns and paragraph, in brief, the columns and paragraph pertaining caste and tribes shall stand deleted. Am I right, ma'am? Read it there. And
Okay,
what
so
the order
is Mr.
says,
Tripathi
the order
proud
says,
of being a
please
Tripathi?
Don't interrupt.
No, I'm just asking. No. I will have to interrupt. No, sir. You said that there is a chief minister who said he's proud of being a Kshatriya. No. I'm just asking you. I'm just asking you, Mr. Tripathi. Are you proud of being a Tripathi?
Don't heckle Sucharta ji. Let me complete first.
Are you proud of being a Tripathi?
No, I haven't.
You're not? You're
I
not?
haven't completed it, madam.
Are you proud of being a Tripathi? I'm just asking you.
I
The
haven't
problem is,
completed yet.
sir, if I can interject, please allow me that. I do not have a problem with you being proud of being a Tripathi and Siddharth Yadav being proud of being a Yadav. The problem is when you start using that caste to prejudice.
You let me complete first.
Go ahead.
Let me complete first. Please, you have invited me.
Go ahead, sir, go ahead.
So the order of the UP government said it has an exemption of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. It can be written. While the order says, the court order says, that the columns and paragraph pertaining to caste and tribes shall stand deleted. Shall stand deleted. Shall be deleted. Nahi. Shall stand deleted.
Okay.
So don't tell me that they are gagging the voice of the OBCs. They are gagging the voice of the tribes. They just want to play with them. They do not have anything in the box. So they're pushing them to the line, to the border. Why? Who has said? Where in the court order has written? The whole government is lying. You tell me where in the court order has written that they cannot hold congregations, they cannot.
Now, exactly. Now, I think now, Mr. Rataka Tripathi, I think you did not hear my opening statement. No, you did not hear my opening question to Siddharth Yadav. You did not hear it, or you chose not to hear. That is precisely what I asked him. This was not part of the court order, but they've gone ahead and banned those rallies, those congregations. Now, I am saying, is that a welcome step or not? Chandragupta, is that a welcome step? Why should there be a different congregation for the Yadavs, for the Brahmins, for the OBCs? What I'm trying to say is, that is, if this is being done by the government. No, listen to me, Mr. Tripathi. Now it's Chandragupta's time. No, let him speak. If this is being done, should we be welcoming it or should we be raising questions?
Varna, Jati, caste is a very complex situation and shouting out over each other, we can't understand it, right? Varna was started with a classification of different workways, almost like IT association, iron association, car association. It was made, right? Some set of people will do work of puja part, some set of people will do the work of raging war, some people will trade, some will do handwork, right? So that no one has a control on every resources. That was there when Mughals came, when Britishers came, we all became in silos and we started that only a son of a Brahman will be Brahman. That was not the case. Valmiki ji, our greatest saint, was not born in a Brahman family. Vedavyasa, who wrote Mahabharata was not born in Brahman family, so we didn't have a problem. We don't have a problem now also.
Yes.
Baba Ramdev to Amma we all revere them. So there is no discrimination per se in the base of the society. But yeah, because of the way how Britishers gave us when India came, and then the reservation added to it, we started associating with our caste like very closely, and it became that a Brahman, a son of a Brahman will be a Brahman. From work based, it becomes family based, and in family with work. Now, because the system is anyway spoiled, so a lot of people are reforming it, and Yogi Adityanath is one such person who's trying to reform it. Right? In fact, the movie that has come on Yogi Adityanath, it shows clearly that how much has started dissolving the caste. Who will be the cook? Who will be served the food? They started making priest. बल्कि डायलॉग भी है मूवी में एक बार कि जिस जाति का गांव उस जाति का पंडित, अगर वो पासियों का गांव है तो उसमें पासी पंडित होगा. That started long back, 20 years back. Man Dabednath, he started eating food with dome rajas of Kashi who burn the bodies, right? So when a welcome move is coming, we all should appreciate it. And if BJP tomorrow started doing Brahman rallies, Yadav rallies, we should check it out.
No, I think
there'll be tension within BJP also because of this. I'm sure. Right?
No, that's precisely why I asked Mr. Yadav. That's precisely why I asked Siddharth Yadav.
Just one closing line.
Yeah,
any progressive step, be it GST, be it Notbandi, be it FASTag even, be it UPI, they are not easy. In the last 10, 11 years, we have seen fundamental changes in our economic system, in our payment system, in our roadways. This is now a government is dealing with a societal change, which is a phenomenal thing. We should salute to this. We are still saying jati, and we just shouting at each other. These are complicated topics. Listen them, hear them out, say what can happen. Even we may not relate personally to it from tomorrow. But once a practice starts and takes long time, that's become a habit, a societal habit. So you should welcome it. That's all. Now start shouting. Boss, start shouting. That's your usual practice.
No, but there may be questions which will be raised within the BJP is what Shantanu Gupta is saying, Siddharth. He's saying there may be questions that will be
which is a good thing.
That will arise from within the party. Will that happen, Siddharth? Is the party ready for it? Because here, Mr. Tripathi, Ratnakar Tripathi is very clear that you've deliberately added political rallies. And why would the BJP deliberately add political rallies to it?
First of all, answering the first part of your question, Sucharita ji, we are the party with the principle of Antodaya. We are the party with the principle of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. We do not worry about such things. We worry about the last person in the queue. We worry about meal in the hands of the poor. That's what we worry about. We worry about Vikas. We don't worry about the caste. Now, on the opposite end of things are very different. On the opposite end of things, my learned friends from different political parties, the only worry that they have and the only politics that they know of doing is of a caste-based politics. If a rule is there that no caste-based political rallies will happen, the rule is for everybody. Why are you worried? If the Bharatiya Janata Party is not worried, if we are also working in the society, working in the same set of people, if we are not worried that organizing of such events should not happen, then you should also not be worrying. But they are worrying because the reasons are like the writings on the wall. Everybody knows what they have been doing. Everybody knows what they have been, doing their politics on. And that is only on the likes of caste. So that is the base of that is only caste. Now, when you shake that up, rhetorics and the baseless questions come up like they are coming in your debate.
So you're saying Tripathi ji's party and Mishra ji's party is doing caste politics? Now they are scared, they will not be able to hold caste congregations, and that is something which is a worry for them, and that is why they are opposing it, is what Siddharth Yadav is saying.
Just give me 10 seconds.
Please go ahead.
Just give me 10 more seconds. There is no worry if Tripathi ji wants to be proud of being a Tripathi, if somebody else wants to be proud of their own caste.
Exactly.
That's not the problem. The problem is the ism. The problem is the casteism.
Yes.
The Jativad. It's not.
I agree with you, Siddharth.
The Jativad is the problem.
See, I agree with you, Siddharth. Because now today on the panel, I have a Shantanu Gupta, I have a Siddharth Yadav, I have a Ratnakar Tripathi and Dr. Puja Mishra. Now tell me, Mr. Tripathi, I asked you a very simple question. Are you not proud of being a Tripathi? You just dug that question for me. The problem is not being proud of being a Tripathi. I'm sure you'll say yes to that. I'm sure your answer will be an affirmative.
What are you?
But the problem is when you think that this is what you're going to spin and use for your politics.
Shall I speak now, ma'am?
Please go ahead.
Yes. What we are opposing is the political motive behind this circular. What they want to do is to gag the voice of the OBCs and tribes.
How
Nothing
are they
else.
doing that?
Just a minute. The good thing would have started from removing the DGP. The observation is there. The DGP coming from a third world background seems to have a little exposure of the complex realities of Indian society. He has conducted himself as an ivory caste policeman and detached from the constitutional morality. Why didn't the DGP was removed? After this,
now, who's looking at the caste of police officers here, Mr. Tripathi? Who is looking at the caste of police officers here?
Because they want to rule.
No, now Dr. Puja Mishra's party is also doing that. They've always been holding Yogi Adityanath culpable of looking at caste in transfers, in postings, even in encounters. Now, you're also doing that. You're looking at caste you're looking for the caste for police officers, Dr. Puja Mishra.
I wanna come in.
Please go ahead.
Didn't you know the incident? Didn't you know the incident from the Kanpur? The Dalit CMO was, removed. Rather, the Thakur DM was retained for the same issue. They were in conflict with the same issue. Now, I wanna just answer those questions. Who picked up the historical lines like who the Ved Vyas was, her mother was from Matsya and her father was obviously from Brahmin. And if picking up historical incident, we can pick the current too. Why Karan was denied by Guru Dronacharya? Why Eklavya's thumb was taken by the Guru Dronacharya? There are a lot of incidents. We don't want to go on that debate.
Chandru wants to counter. Chandru wants to counter.
We don't want to go on that debate. We don't want to go on that debate. We are currently talking about the mindset, where in the constitution it is written that on the mobilization of caste basis, rally on the caste basis for the upliftment of caste is wrong. It is not written anywhere. The government is trying not let these people mobilize because they know that they have done nothing good for them. And when they will mobilize, they will go against the government.
So you're saying you will continue to mobilize people in caste? Is that what you're saying? You will continue to mobilize people in caste?
Court direction. And the author, he just picked up a few.
No, but now if this order is for Uttar Pradesh, ma'am, you will have to adhere to it, no? If this order is for Uttar Pradesh, you will have to adhere to it, or you are saying that you will not?
No, we are parties. We don't defy the rules and regulation. We follow the rules and regulation. But the BJP government is indulged into casteism. In the BJP regime, the caste-based crime has increased by 25% approx. And now they are saying that the mobilization shouldn't be there. The community shouldn't have their own meetings. There shouldn't be a political rally. No. Why you are saying that there should be political rally?
That you cannot have meetings,
if a committee was to have
the idea is to not have political congregations. And if Shantanu wanted to respond, Shantanu quickly respond to what Ms. Mishra was saying.
I think I don't know what understanding of Mahabharata Ramayana she has. I can take a separate session on Ramayana Mahabharata. I am doing a lot of books and work.
I can do that too also, but I'm not here for that.
Please don't shout. You can do that in your party office. Don't shout here. Thank you. See, Sucharita, when you reach out to people for vote, you evoke various identities. Sometimes male, female, sometimes urban, rural, sometimes caste, sometimes rich, poor. You evoke various identities. You connect to people. Various identities, but in other entities there is no major problem, right? But in caste it is got convoluted. So now various reformers are trying to reform it, and Yogi Adityanath is booking a welcome step. He's taking one more step than the court order. Court order only wanted the caste records not in police record. He went ahead and said they should not be in the rally sabas also. It's a welcome move. I don't know why on earth someone has a problem with this.
I think. It is a welcome step, Dr. Mishra. I precisely asked you that would you be following it or would you say that you would not adhere to it? Because it is something that is the steps are being taken so that we can fight the vices. We can fight the wrong that has been there. So caste is a reality in India, everybody knows that. But there are certain prejudices which need to be fought. And that is precisely why we are having this debate, that we all need to join hands together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me on this debate tonight. And this is very clear that there are certain steps being taken by the UP government to wipe out the prejudices that have been there in the society. And it's very, very important that we all join hands and unite and move forward. And moving on, shocking developments have emerged in Navi Mumbai in the kidnapping case linked to Puja Khedkar's family. The victim, a truck helper, has stated that he was abducted, confined and physically assaulted, prompting police to add multiple charges including kidnapping, extortion, criminal intimidation and wrongful confinement. Now, Dilip and Manorama Khedkar reportedly obstructed police officers and attempted to evade justice by disappearing from their residence. Puja Khedkar herself has a controversial past, having previously faced scrutiny for allegedly faking a disability to gain entry into the Indian administrative services. Now, the family's actions raise serious questions about entitlement, misuse of privilege, and how VVIPs can exploit power with seeming impunity. Authorities have issued lookout notices, but the case exposes the limits of the system when wealth and influence are involved. This scandal underscores a troubling pattern of privilege shielding individuals from accountability, and it prompts urgent reflection on how laws are enforced against the powerful. Prahlad Kumar, the helper of a cement mixer truck, reportedly grazed the SUV owned by Dilip Khedkar, father of former IS officer Puja Khedkar. Agitated, Dilip Khedkar allegedly bundled up the helper, shoved him in the SUV and kidnapped him. The victim was then forcibly taken from Navi Mumbai to Pune. When police reached to rescue the victim, Prahlad Kumar, Puja Khedkar's mother confronted cops. Khedkars let the dogs out to attack and scare the policemen. And since then, Khedkars are on the run. Republic caught hold of one of Khedkar's drivers. He confessed that the kidnapped victim was kept in the house.
कब से आप काम कर रहे हैं उनके यहाँ?
1 महीना हो गया।
1 महीना हो गया। अभी घर में कोई है?
नहीं।
आ जाइए, आराम से आइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। आराम से आइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। घर में कोई है?
नहीं नहीं, कोई नहीं।
आप ड्राइवर काम करते हैं?
हाँ।
अच्छा, कब से नहीं है वो लोग? आ जाइए, आगे आ जाइए। कब से नहीं है?
हाँ?
कब से नहीं है वो लोग पूरा खेड़कर घर वाले?
वो पता नहीं सर मेरे को।
अभी नहीं है ना?
अभी नहीं है।
कोई भी नहीं है?
नहीं है।
दूसरा ये कि जो लेके आए थे उसको कहाँ पे रखे थे? आप बता रहे थे ना?
हमारे साथ ही था वो रूम में।
The rescued victim narrated ordeal and shared how he was locked up inside a room, fed stale food and threatened with dire consequences. Lookout notices have been issued against Puja Khedkar's parents to prevent them from fleeing the country. Manorama Khedkar was arrested last year too after a video of her brandishing gun went viral. While Puja Khedkar, a 2023 batch IS officer, is under investigation over wrongfully availing OBC benefits and disability concessions. A family involved in crimes and a system allowing the daughter to fake disability and joins IAS, allowing her mother to wave a gun, grab land and get away without arrest, allowing her father, a retired government official, to kidnap a man. If this is not a complete mockery of law and order, then what is? And I'm joined by Krishna Hegde, spokesperson for the Shiv Sena. I'm joined by Senior Advocate Swapnil Kothari. Also, retired Senior IPS Officer P.K. Jain joins us on the debate. And Congress leader Ratnakar Tripathi stays on for this debate as well. Now, let me start by asking you, Mr. Hegde. This is complete brazenness. This is complete disregard for the law. And it is happening one after the other to the same family. Now, they know that there is a certain sense of entitlement. They will not be caught. And there will be questions that will be asked from you. What is happening in Maharashtra?
No one is above the law, I must state here.
I hope
Earlier also, when Puja Khedkar was on the run, she was apprehended. Her mother was also arrested in an earlier case. This time also, the bodyguard has been arrested. There has been a lookout circular against the family and they are again on the run. And Puja Khedkar, a probationary IAS officer, has also been removed from service. And therefore, there is no one above the law. Whether you are entitled or no, the law takes up its own course and brings justice to the person who's actually in a problem. And similarly, if they have kidnapped a person, there have been cases registered against them. Now a lookout notice also there. And earlier also, when they were on a run, they were arrested. And this time also, the law will take its own turn and they will soon be behind bars.
No. Mr. Hegde, let me just point this out to you. A family that is already on the radar will think twice before committing another sin. Now, what does Puja Khedkar's father do? Dilip Khedkar, along with his bodyguard, kidnaps the helper of a truck rescued from their home in Pune because their luxury SUV had collided with the vehicle and they wanted him to compensate for the damage. Now, this man was rescued from Khedkar residence. He was abducted. He was kidnapped. Now, this family is on the run. This family is being washed over, but they still managed to kidnap a helper and keep him abducted at their residence. What was happening? What was the police doing?
This was a road rage accident. They pulled up the helper from the road rage accident and they confined him to their house. And when the police got to know, because the truck driver and the truck owner had lodged a complaint, the police landed up at their place. They were not allowed to go in, but the police did their job, and now the couple, Khedkar couple is on the run.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hegde, but what does this mean? The police was not allowed entry into their house. They've abducted an individual, kept him in their house, and the police was not allowed entry. And what did the police do? They waited.
The police forced themselves into the house.
This happened much later, sir.
Into the house.
What I'm trying to say is,
forced themselves into the house.
What I'm trying to say is, this family is already on the radar, manages to do a wrong every time and still escape. How is that happening? I do not understand. If Mr. Jain, if I can bring you into the debate. Mr. Jain, how is that happening? There's a sense of entitlement.
Can you tell me one thing?
There is a sense of entitlement. And there is something that is keeping them, there is definitely something which is keeping them safe.
Or was it the
what is going on?
Bail.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Thank you very much for getting me in on this debate. Well, it's a fact that they are habitual offenders. They have been committing crimes with an impunity. Earlier also, they got a lot of relief from the courts. And now in this case, where a person had been abducted from the crime scene and he was taken to their residence, confined there for 2 days, the police went inside and got him rescued. But after that, they just walked away because the lady of the house, she put up a resistance and they walked away from there. In fact, they should have posted a guard there and they should have ensured. And when the abducted person had confirmed that the two criminals were there in that house at that time, and yet the police walked away in their totality, they should not have done that. They should have posted up a person out there, even if they had to leave at that time and come back with the lady constables or whatever they wanted to, other arrangements they wanted to make. They should have done that, and they should have ensured that none of these people who have a history of absconding, they would have absconded. So it's absolutely clear. Somewhere there has been a little slip. But as Mr. Hegde says that eventually they will be caught. The punishment for the crime is up to 10 years in case somebody is abducted for ransom. So under section 140 of the BNS now. So the punishment is quite severe, and sure they will be arrested now. Of course, it was a slip up on the part of the police, but it is not a mistake which cannot be rectified. So I feel that the action has now been taken by the police. They should in fact go a step ahead now. Under the old CRPC and under the BNSS now, there is a provision for confiscating and attaching their properties. They should move the court immediately after this to declare them absconders and offenders and move to attach their properties. That's what should be the next immediate step now.
Now, on the onset, at the onset, Swapnil, this seems so much of a drama that one is not really able to believe that there's one family fitting into this whole drama time and again. It's this family, the Khedkar family. And now it's surprising. They deliberately obstructed the investigation. They misbehaved with the police officers. They even set a dog on the police team. And what does the police team do? They ask them to come to the station, which they never do. What is going on?
Yeah, so Sharita, what happens at times is that in as much as the efficiency that the police shows, sometimes the people who are criminals, they think one step ahead or two steps ahead. Now, normally I'm usually against the police in these kind of things, that they should act proactively, they should be forcing entry themselves, they should be doing this, they should be doing that. You know, it's all very easy for us to sit here and comment on these things, Sucharita, but the point is that what happens here is that in this particular case, if you've noticed, the police has done as much as it could from its side, minus one or two things here or there, which I think they could have done better, but I would not want to comment on that because I don't see, you know, it's, as I said, that is theoretically correct, but I think all the appropriate sections have been levied. Lookout circular has been issued. It's not going to be a long period of time before this family is caught or these people who are absconders who are caught. Now, one of the provisions, as one of my panelists mentioned, is that you try to attach the property. Now, that is something which the police can do proactively, and it has within its powers to do so. The moment you do that, the moment you file an application of this sort, and you make it public that this application, you will find these absconders scurrying away, who scurried away like rats will be back. So this is something which the police should be doing. The police, I think, to the best of my knowledge, from whatever I've read about it, has done sufficiently well enough. But as I said, Sucharita, not every time the police is going to be able to be on top of the criminals.
Swapnil, I'm sorry, but I do not agree with you. Because it cannot be, my surprise and my question stem from the fact that it's happening to the same family again and again. Why, how is that possible? As I said, they're already on the radar and they happen to do this again and again, and still there is a hesitation. Why is the police not acting? Why are they waiting for them to act? Why were they waiting for the parents, Puja's parents, to come to the police station?
No, they're
and
not
they've
be
disappeared.
Waiting. Right. Sucharita, I don't think that they're waiting. They're going to have to file this application for attachment of property. Nobody's waiting for anybody because they know that these people are smart absconders. These people are smart cookies. So on this point, I don't think that police is as naive. Unless there is some sort of a political influence somewhere, because I don't know who this person is, Puja Khedkar, some IAS officer who had, falsified her records to get into this cadre and all those kind of things. You have these kind of people who do this all the time. But the point is that I do not want to pinpoint the, finger at the police until unless I have a certain sense of certainty, the way it was in the Pune Porsche case, where I knew that police was in hand in gloves because lower sections are levied and all those kind of things. Because the best way that the police tends to compromise the investigation is when they levy sections that are lower than which they could have been levied. So now here in this case, I would not want to point a finger because I think appropriate sections have been levied, Sucharita. Now, if you see this probe being dragged, if you see the police not doing what it's supposed to do, then you and I will be on the same page on a particular debate.
I will ask this to Mr. Tripathi. I will take this question to Mr. Tripathi. Mr. Tripathi, do you think the police has done enough? Swapnil is saying here that the police has done enough and it is looking after this case. It is going to be taken care of. But are you convinced?
Do you think so? I don't think so.
I have serious questions.
They are not habitual offenders. They are habitual criminals. And they have a history of that. Swapnil ji was saying, Swapnil ji, on 16 July 2024, this madam along with her husband was caught in a hotel in Raigad with fake name, Indu Bai Dhyandev Thakne and Dada Saheb Dhyandev Thakne. Had the police registered that case of fake identity, that would have been a 420. More than 7 years of imprisonment. They would have gone to jail for a long time. But the police didn't impose. So, Sucharita, the problem is of the blue blood clan, the community of IAS and IPS, who just help each other, nothing else. How can this Manora Khedkar, a wife of an IAS, she just flashes revolver and pistol from the farmers. Then she abducts one person, this IAS and this his wife. She abducts and driver and keep him for 2 days.
Shocking.
And the police is saying, no, I cannot enter. We cannot enter the premises because we don't have the lady constable. You have to there. Please. You would have called the lady constables, more police personnel. Hadn't it been the case of other people? But no, the government and the IAS and the IPS protect each other in cheating, corruption, crime, and every bad thing. That is happening with that Khedkar. And one more thing, I have one objection, Sucharita ji. She is not a former IAS officer.
Yes.
As somebody said, in your show. She's a fraud.
She's a fraud.
She's a fraud who entered the IAS clan. This should be said.
No, what there are why are there serious questions and serious concerns, Mr. Jain? Because there are people who really work hard to get into the Indian administrative services. Here is somebody who's relying on fraud and dubious means to do that. And then not just that, there will be a question that will be asked, why this kind of VVIP entitlement to this family over and over again? That will be a question that will be asked by all those who've been working hard.
Can I?
And look at the mother holding the gun and telling it's like telling the people that I hold power. I'm the one who will dictate terms.
Absolutely, this is called magruri. This is absolutely called magruri. They whatever little power they had has gone to their heads. Incidentally, Puja Khedkar's father is not an IAS officer. He is one of the junior officers in the department. That is one thing I would like to clarify. And secondly, Puja Khedkar has not been supported by the IAS community. She has been thrown out of service. She has got a lot of relief from the Supreme Court. That's unfortunate. But the fact remains that they must face the music. As one of my co-panelists has just said, there was another case where they stayed under a false name. The case should have been... I mean, such a family and such criminal people with such criminal background should be hounded. And they should be hounded with all the force of the law, which apparently is not happening the way it ought to happen. Unfortunate, but a fact of life.
That is true. Mr. Tripathi, Swapnil wants to come in. Mr. Tripathi, okay, you can raise your question first, then I'll go to Swapnil.
I don't know who was speaking, but he was not thrown by the IS community. He was thrown because she was thrown because she was caught that she's a fraud. And what happened? She ordered her own superior a DM.
No, but what Mr. Jain is saying that nobody is supported. Everybody stood up against her. They questioned her.
10 seconds, Sucharta ji.
Please go ahead.
You tell me, a family, the whole clan who is a habitual criminal.
Yes.
Swapnil said, na, they were just charged with a lower section. How could it happen? Unless until there is a pressure from the senior IS and IPS officers. They have the connection. The blue blood connection.
Okay, they have a connection is what Ratnakar Tripathi is saying. Krishna Hegde.
The first report was put up by the collector of
Mr. Tripathi is very clearly saying there has to be a connection, there has to be someone supporting them, otherwise they would not get away every time.
No, what?
Get the phone calls, sir. You will know it. Get the phone calls. Detail of the phone calls.
No, Mr. Tripathi is from the Congress and everything he has to do is blame everybody. Now he is taking one probationary IAS officer and painting all IAS officers in the same brush. I think that is very unfair. Secondly, let me tell you, where have been they protected? For the last 3-4 instances, wherever they have gone wrong, the police has gotten on to their case, they have been arrested, the bodyguard has been arrested, a lookout notice has been put, the probationary IAS officer has been removed. Everywhere they have committed a fault or a crime, they have been booked. And even in this case, they are not going to be spared. No one is going to be spared.
Will you give us a timeline? Will you give us a timeline? Or we will keep waiting and then hear another instance? Will we hear another instance? Or you will give us a timeline, Mr. Hegde?
Now, if a family is the habitual offender, I cannot take guarantee for them what they do. I can just say that the court should not give such people bail. I can only request the courts not to give such people bail. What can I as an individual or a spokesperson take guarantee on a Khedkar family who is habitually doing these things and getting away because there is some, there is some lacuna in the law. So therefore, these people have to be tightened up.
But sir, they are on the run. There are lookout notices issued against them. They are on the run. There are lookout notices. You can't just get away by saying, how can I say, when are they going to come and face the law? There has to be some kind of... You will have to give people a guarantee that you will be nabbing them.
They will be arrested. They have to face the law. I was only speaking about the decision making of the court, that the court should not give them bail again and again.
Sucharita,
okay, Mr. Kothari, go ahead.
Yeah, Sucharita, the point is very simple. If it's a bailable offense, the bail will be given. If it's a non-bailable offense, then the bail should not be given. Now, that is the discretion of the court. I don't want to step into that territory because that is outside the realms of the police. The police has to ensure, which I'm sure it will, that there is a tight case. And if there was a case which went unregistered last time, they should be registering that case now. Criminal cases don't have a limitation period. So you want to do that. You want to tighten the case, tighten the news, unless and until, as Mr. Tripathi pointed out, if there is some sort of a connection or if there is some sort of a political patronage, then that's something which you and I will have to face. Now, if you tell me that, "Arey, gun nikal ke bata diya," I can show you 100 people on the streets of Delhi or Mumbai who will have a gun and who will show you a gun. So I don't think that...
Is that a question that only Mr. Ratnakar Tripathi is asking? No.
It's wishful thinking कि लोगों के पास बंदूक नहीं होनी चाहिए and somebody...
I agree with you. I give it to you that a lot of people would be holding a gun license. But what I am saying is the question that Mr. Ratnakar Tripathi is asking, is that only his question? Would not people who are looking at this story, who've been completely following this story, would be asking the same questions? Why this sense of entitlement to this family again and again?
No. Yeah, but I would not use the word entitlement. I don't think there is some sort of entitlement because a lot of arrests have been made. A lookout circular has been issued. There is a particular procedure that you follow as per the CRPC and as per the BNS and all those,
let Mr. Jain have a final word on that. Because he knows about the protocol, he knows about the procedures. Let Mr. Jain have a final word on that. Mr. Jain?
See, the fact remains that they will be arrested. It's only a matter of time.
Okay.
The moment the police moves, I have seen in the most hardened of the cases where the police moves for attachment of property, the accused promptly come, and here this family has a lot to lose. They are sitting on about 150 crore of rupees worth of property. So the moment their property is going to be attached, they will immediately make a beeline to the police station. So the thing which they did not do at 3 p.m. on that day, they will do now promptly, provided this action is taken. I'm sure the police everybody knows about this section. The only thing is the will and the determination to take that action. Only that is required. And I'm sure that this guy must be having some kind of a political protection because he has been getting some kind of... He's getting away very lightly in terms of a common man would have been hounded by the police by this time. Here the police goes to his residence, gets a person released from there, and yet the accused are not arrested on the spot. It's unfortunate, but it has happened. So I think somebody has to tighten up their girdle and take a strict action in this case.
Mr. Tripathi, final word.
Now let me tell you, Mr. Hegde and Mr. Swapne, how they are helped. When they were caught from the hotel on a fake identity, the acts of fake identity, impersonation, and forging the document should have been imposed. That would have given them more than 7 years of imprisonment. And they wouldn't have, please, don't interrupt. They wouldn't have come on bail. And now let me tell you one more thing. Flashing a licensee, a licensed revolver or pistol to threaten someone, the license should have been cancelled. And I know it. I'm not saying I believe it. I know it hasn't been cancelled.
No, I just think...
सर मुझे सब सेक्शन पता है. मैं खाली आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि वो हो जाएगा, होने वाला होगा, तब हो जाएगा.
Those questions are being asked by a lot of people, not just Mr. Tripathi, is what I'm saying. I don't have any time left on the debate. Thank you so much for joining me on this debate. All I want to say is that there is a certain sense of entitlement that a lot of people feel that this family has got, and that is precisely why they are raising questions. But moving on, Trump back with his finger-pointing diplomacy, targets India yet again, says India-China, main funders of the Russia war. The big debate on the other side with Niranjan and Abhishek.
At Ultraviolette, we believe it's time for India to take pole position. And what do we mean by that? I think for years now, we've looked to the east or the west for the best examples of design and technology. And today we believe we have all of the talent in hardware, software and design to really innovate, disrupt and put India at pole position when it comes to every aspect of technology, right? And for us, we go back a long way. Neeraj and myself were both working abroad. I was in Europe, Neeraj was in the US, and we took a call to get back to India in 2015. Spent about a year in researching what we want to get into in the world of electric vehicles, and it's been an 8-year journey for us since then.
Since 2016, we've been working on the core technologies necessary to build out the entire EV platform. From the battery technology, the BMS, the motor control systems, the power electronics to the chargers, and to the entire vehicle platforms. It's taken us over 8 years of research, testing, development, validation. And today, we're so proud that we have a platform that we've validated for global markets, and we've started now to ship to Europe as well.
Right. And the last 8 years of R&D, like Neeraj mentioned, has given us platforms across motorcycles, scooters, basically all forms of two-wheelers that is going to be certified and hitting the roads of Europe and multiple parts of the world. And on those lines, one of the most important milestones for us this year has been the fact that we are the first electric startup in the two-wheeler space that has gone global. And our vehicles are across 10 countries in Europe, across Paris, Berlin, and London, and yeah, it's an incredible feeling.
And it's an incredibly proud moment to see our motorcycles, our made in India motorcycles, how we call it, imagined, designed, and manufactured in India. And these are now plying the roads in Paris, in the autobahns in Germany, and it's a super exciting moment for us.
And we hope this is a spark for multiple companies to follow and soon make India the powerhouse of everything towards the future.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
मेरी गाड़ी ठोकेगा? पर गलती तो आपकी है। मेरी गलती? तू जानता है मेरा बाप कौन है? ये देखो, पापा और गलती दोनों याद आ जाएंगे। अब देखा किसने सिग्नल तोड़ा?
Cubo dash cams. Get smart, get Cubo.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
विराज रायचन स्टील।
आपने वरदान स्टील का नाम सुना होगा?
ऑफ कोर्स। आप मिस्टर वरदान के बेटे हैं?
नहीं।
छोटे भाई?
नहीं।
दामाद?
नहीं।
फिर?
शेयर होल्डर? सही टाइम पे उनके शेयर्स खरीदे, तभी आज मैं यहाँ हूँ।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं, ग्रो करते हैं। डाउनलोड ग्रो फॉर स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड IPO। प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
ये बड़ी गाड़ी वाले ऐसे ही रैश चलाते हैं।
अरे चुप! तुमने तो गाड़ी वालों को ही विलन बना दिया।
ये देखो।
Cubo dash cams. Get smart, get Cubo.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
Friends, it's me and Niranjan filling in for Arnab Goswami. He's back soon, but we have a problem, friends. You and me and India. And that problem is called President Donald Trump. And the reason is, in the morning, there is a different Donald Trump than in the evening. The post that he makes today is different than the one he made yesterday on the issue of India, on the issue of India-Pakistan ceasefire, on the issue of India buying Russian oil. And in this kabhi ha, kabhi na, our diplomats have a task at hand. Remember, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is in New York to participate in the United Nations General Assembly, and we are discussing an address made by President Trump himself. While, of course, it was aimed at every corner of the world, including a teleprompter right there in front of him. But so far as we are concerned, it's back. The pendulum has swung back to the earlier position, which was troubling, not just the tariff part of India-United States relationship, but the larger equation as well. In that UNGA address, President Trump mentioned again that he got the ceasefire done between India and Pakistan. Not only that, he repeated his charge that India is bankrolling Russia's war. Thankfully, he brought in China also, and that's our focus. Are we back to square one with President Trump? Niranjan joins me.
Well, there's one problem, though, Abhishek. Now, we don't know whether Trump meant it, didn't mean it, because he didn't read off a prompter, right? And for the first time, when he was forced to go extempore, he has mentioned India-Pakistan ceasefire, and this comes after a long time. Now, the entertainment part of this entire speech, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we just ended a few minutes ago, almost a 90-minute speech. He was allotted about 10 to 15 minutes, took about 90 minutes. Donald Trump has attacked India not once or twice, several times in his speech. Here are some of the excerpts of what the US President said a short while ago.
This war would never have started if I were president. This was a war that should have never happened. It shows you what leadership is, what bad leadership can do to a country. Look what happened to the United States, and look where we are right now in just a short period of time. The only question now is how many more lives will be needlessly lost on both sides. China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing war by continuing to purchase Russian oil. But inexcusably, even NATO countries have not cut off much Russian energy and Russian energy products, which, as you know, I found out about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't happy. Think of it. They're funding the war against themselves. Who the hell ever heard of that one? In the event that Russia is not ready to make a deal to end the war, then the United States is fully prepared to impose a very strong round of powerful tariffs, which would stop the bloodshed, I believe, very quickly. But for those tariffs to be effective, European nations, all of you are gathered here right now, would have to join us in adopting the exact same measures. Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. I mean, you're much closer to this. We have an ocean in between. You're right there. And Europe has to step it up. They can't be doing what they're doing. They're buying oil and gas from Russia while they're fighting Russia. It's embarrassing to them, and it was very embarrassing to them when I found out about it, I can tell you that. They have to immediately cease all energy purchases from Russia.
debate this evening are Ambassador Deepak Vora, former diplomat. Peter Kuznick is anti-Trump. He's an American but opposes Trump primarily. Will be joining us. Aina Tangen giving us the Chinese perspective today. Nikita Menkovich from Russia. He's live from Moscow. He's the head of the Eurasian Analytical Club.